Well, I'm thinking of John 17, 18:25. What's the protection I've built into you that you don't get destroyed by circumstances? Preservation rules that protect you from destruction. I've given you self-priority in relation to me, because I have self-priority too. It's pyramidal in that sense. I have self-priority, else I can do nothing. I mean, if God wasn't going to protect himself and keep himself eternally, he can't give it. So this is his priority. And then in that context, he now creates fellowship of other self-protected beings, yes, but in relationship to him, of course, that have his, well, have a relationship with him, that for sure feel their relationship with him is more important than anything else. If they don't have that, then they become a potential enemy, a problem to his eternal life, and therefore everyone else's eternal life, because he's the creator and sustainer of all. So it's important that we are built with this relationship as priority. In other words, quite simply, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul, and mind and strength, yeah. That makes his position ever secure, and he's able to make your position ever secure. It might not look like that in your world of uncertainty, change, matter, time, space. So we've got to put in a default mechanism that in your world, you are going to prioritize yourself until you prioritize God. Once you prioritize God, then he knows that you are prioritized in eternity. Well, he prioritizes you in eternity anyway. He puts you in an environment where, yes, you can mess up and get self-destroyed, but only in the context of the physical world of transitory things. He still holds you eternally. If you make a mistake and step under a bus, well, you are still in an eternal being. It's not that you have been terminated eternally. Of course, you have to trust this. You don't. So you prioritize not going under a bus rather than loving God, whom you haven't got much conception of. You've got a very good conception of your life and what losing it might mean. Might mean the end of everything, eternal death. So you prioritize self. And that's fine until you have a relationship with God, in which case things change, and you prioritize the relationship. And death is no longer a worry to you, because you're trusting that God has it all right. Does that mean I very easily self-destruct? Well, looking at the story of the life of Jesus, you say, yes, his ministry lasted at most 3 years, and perhaps it was only 1 year. he just get crucified this way. Something's wrong with the story. No, it's not. What's wrong with the story is the reader. The reader can't read on what happens to Jesus afterwards. He has to hope and imagine that, he's sitting on the right hand of God and everything's in fact going to be hunky-dory. And he may not have built up a relationship with God that will allow him to trust such yet. So he carries on just maximizing his own self-interest, narrowly. Now that's different to maximizing your self-interest where self is in relation to God. Once you start to maximize that, that's a different life. That's a different track, isn't it, to be on? Now, I maximize this relationship, or rather, maximize myself in the context of this relationship with God. I do everything appropriate now to a God that is all-powerful and loves all. Well, in that case, the dilemma this lady is in at present, it's not my problem, it's God's. Oh, you think that means I just go on my way? No. I help where it doesn't self-destruct me, because I'm still meant to stay in this world and reasonably, from God's point of view, until I leave. Is it reasonable that I, become a slave to this lady and try and rescue her from her dire straits? No. God is all-powerful in my understanding. The dire straits she's in is part of God's will in the context of this school of lessons and learning. And to come to her aid is not to play the physical game all the time of pouring in all my time, energies and money. It's to make sure her relationship with God is as mine. That's not actually by putting all the material things right. You could do that and it makes no difference. She carries on this misunderstanding of God as before. The problem is not as it presents. And it is not my comprehensive job to rescue her into life eternal. God is doing that fine and can do it fine without me. What does God require of me in the situation then? What have you been asked to do? Come and visit and take one tiny detail of her life that she wants altered. I mean, in this particular case, she wanted to unload her stock of organic foods that she'd built up for in case COVID turned into a disaster. She can't take it with her where she's going. She doesn't want to throw it away. Would you like it? Yes, thank you. So, we go in and are benefited in some way. It's not that we need this benefit, but it will benefit us to some extent, and we know it will help her. It'll be appreciated, and we'll go and see the lady, and we did. And we encourage her and so forth. Do your part. Don't seize the lead, which is what Marshall always wanted to do at school. I must be the lead actor in the school pageant or play or whatever. That's not the way. Yes, want to do my part as God has it, but not to seize the helm. And if you do seize the helm, of course, you'll be greatly distressed because you'll enter into the chaos that she has in her view of God, her view of relationship with God. And it will unquestionably affect you, not to mention your situation, resources, and time, and so on. So we are very wise. And we don't give away all that we have to the poor. We give all that we have to God in our relationship with God, knowing He is all-powerful and all-loving to all life, and has us do the drying up. Not cook the meal. We're not up to it. Amazingly, the 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, not up to cooking the meal. Not the way Dad likes it, anyway. And Mum, and you come to that. Do you see? No. You do the washing up. You say, can I try, love? Oh, yes, love, just dry those up for me, can you? That'd be helpful. Bless you. Not, can I do the washing up? Can I do the cooking? You go and put your feet up. I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, love, you won't be able to. You'll hurt yourself. You'll burn yourself. It won't be a success. Oh, but you need a rest. You've been doing too much. Well, I'll tell you what then. I'll just break for a minute and we'll have a cup of tea and a biscuit, shall we? Oh, yes, that'd be nice. And the child is loved and helped and understands its place. You don't seize the helm. That's for Mum or Dad or so on, It's not just that we're a child of God. We need to become a very good child of God that knows our place. We're a child, and He is doing all and loves all and doing all accordingly. You see, we start to see things in the light of our relationship to our Heavenly Dad, a wonderful, infinite God, all-loving and all-powerful, all-knowing. Wow, what a privilege. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.